24, verse 1 through 8. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been for the Lord who was on our side when man rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the water had overwhelmed us, the stream had gone over our souls. Then the proud water had gone over our souls. Blessed be the Lord who has given us blessed be the Lord who has not given us as a prey to their teeth. Verse 7, our soul is escaped as a bird out of a snare, out of the fowler. The snare is broken, and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Call Halaya Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bashem Katadah, and double honor to the men of Great Millstone, starting from the apostles and elders and prophets that's out there on the highway and byway pushing the truth. I want to say Shalom, and the water for giving the 144% of the truth to brothers such as myself that believe that GMS have the truth of the Bible, the understanding of the Bible. Again, I would like to say the water and shalom to you, brother. Shalom to you, brother. To the men and women that are listening and learning, continue listening to GMS. Study, research, pray, repent, keep the faith, keep the laws and commandments to the best of your ability. Also, to add to all that, I'm not a member of GMS, but I believe they have the 100% truth of the Bible, and the good Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, is working with those men. Today's topic is going to be short and sweet about if it had not been the Lord who was on our side. During these perilous times, you know, people are more violent towards each other. You know, you have fires on the West Coast. You have our government want to vaccinate everyone in the United States and also everyone in the world. Like I said, these are perilous times. You know, they putting harsh laws on you if you don't take this VMAX, you know, putting you in jail or prison or whatever if you decide not to take it, concentration camp. From what I heard also, they looking to take money out of your pay if you don't take it. So, you know, it's gonna get worse than that. You know, the famine of the word, a famine of food, it's gonna get bad, and you're gonna need the Lord on your side so that you can travail through all this. And your main goal as an Israelite man, if you are the elect, is to get that ticket of salvation, to get on those chariots to get out of here, you know. But we have to go through hell to get there, just like Yahushua did. He went through hell, you know, to save a wicked group of people, which was the Israelites. And, you know, everyone during the time that Christ walked this earth, all of them wasn't against Yahushua. You had some of the elders, you had the elders, the high priests, you know, some of the Sadducees and Pharisees. You know, you had some people of high stature, and you had people of no stature hated him, but you had a lot of people that loved him, especially the people that he did miracles on. You don't think that they didn't love him for helping him see again, or being able to walk, or a person that was dead now back into this world again living. You know, the Lord did a whole lot of miraculous miracles in this earth. And the people that hated him, you know, they was just wicked Israelites, you know, just like today, with the man out on the highway and byway pushing his truth. People walk by as if they don't see him, ignore him. Some of them even try to fight him. Some of them would talk smack and say, well, you know, this is a man-made religion, you and the cult, you know, y'all crazy. You know, them guys get laughed at because of their garments. They're gonna have to pay for all that. But I'm leave my rant right there. I'm gonna go into the topic. The topic is, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side. During the time of Moses, the good Lord was on the children of Israel's side to get out of slavery. He put forth all those plagues on the Egyptians so that his people can be set free to carry on the laws and commandments that Yahweh gave Moses, so that his children can be set aside and do the work of the Lord. So, you know, when they left out of Egypt, after the good Lord sent that last plague, which killed all the firstborn sons, children, the Egyptian finally went on and let them go. And then after a while, they went back against their word, and the Egyptian fled after Israel to put them back in bondage. So from that point right there, I'm going to start from there and read all the way on down. Like I said, the title is, If It Had Not Been the Lord Who Was on Our Side. Exodus 14:14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Lord said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me, speaking to the children of Israel, that they go forward? But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thy hand over the sea, and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. If it wasn't for the good Lord, that wouldn't have been possible. Verse 17, and I, behold, I will harden the heart of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them, and I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all the hosts, upon his chariot, and upon his horsemen. The good Lord knew that the Pharaoh was going to harden. He knew that the good Lord hardened the Pharaoh heart to come after the children of Israel. The good Lord was setting them up, you know, so that he can show them his glory. Verse 18, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon his chariot, and upon his horsemen. Verse 19, and the angel of Yahweh, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night. So the good Lord had the angel to put darkness between the children of Israel and the Egyptians, so that the Egyptians wouldn't do any harm to the children of Israel, to slaughter them. That's basically what they were going to do, to kill them. Verse 21, and Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the water was driven and the water was divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the water were a wall unto them on the right hand and on their left. Verse 23, and the Egyptian pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horsemen and his chariot and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch the Lord looked upon the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of the fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians. Verse 25, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. Verse 26, and the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand over the sea, that the water may come again upon the Egyptians, upon the chariots, upon the horsemen. Now going back to Exodus 14 and 14, the Lord did say, the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Then even the Egyptians knew that Yahweh was fighting for Israel. It says here in verse 25, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. Verse 26, and the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand over the sea, that the water may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength. When the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, and the Lord overthrew the Egyptian in the midst of the sea. If it wasn't for the good Lord, that wouldn't have been possible. If it wasn't for the good Lord, that wouldn't have been possible. Verse 28, and the water returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not such much as one of them. The good Lord destroyed all of them. If it wasn't for the good Lord, where would the children of Israel be? Verse 29, but the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the water were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Verse 30, thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptian dead upon the seashore. Verse 31, and Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses. Going back to Psalm 124, 1 and 2. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed, I'm going to go to 3. Then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. We gonna need the Lord more than ever. We're going to need the Lord more than ever. It's going to be some harsh, perilous time that we're going to be faced with. And you need to know the name. You need to know what's in the scripture about how to strengthen your faith and keep fear from entering in. Because when these times come, it's going to make you or break you. And you need this word. Well, I'm going to end it right there. Again, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, Shalom.